Good morning. Just a few words of encouragement. You got to remember that this life that you're living is a gift from the Most High. But how you live this life becomes a gift to the Most High, right? And whether you believe in God or not, that's irrelevant. It really is. I want you to know that whatever you're producing in your life or whatever you're trying to produce or get done is really a reflection on you. It's not just your circumstances. Right? You have to go into yourself and figure out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and make the changes or the amendments that you need to make. In order to do what you have never done, you must be willing to become somebody that you've never been. Anchor yourself spiritually. Every day recondition your mind, refurbish your heart, renew your thinking, redouble your spirit, rebuild your will, reinstate your courage, release your fear, and reconnect to God. The way we count our age and our years has been off from the beginning. The whole time you were in the womb, you were alive. So when you came out the womb, if you came out full term, you were already 9 months. So only 3 more months would it take to make you 1 year old. So what we consider to be 1 is really 2. And what we consider 2 is really 3. We are born when we go in the womb, not when we come out the womb. See, when you come out the womb, they cut your cord, the umbilical cord. This is to let you know that you've been disconnected. So when you come out the womb is really your disconnection date. But you're born when you go in the womb, not when you come out of it. Because the whole time that you were in the womb, you were alive. Right? And if you were there for 9 months, then when you come out, it would only take you 3 more months for you to be 1 year old, if you go by the 12-month year calendar. So why do you wait 12 whole months after you come out to say that you're 1, as if you came out at 0? This is flawed. This is wrong. You're born when you go in the womb, not when you come out. So just understand that when you come out the womb, the date that you consider your birthday is really not. The 7th day is upon us, and on the 7th day God rested. Rest means that there is no work. No work will be done. So as we approach the 7th day, artificial intelligence is becoming the new normal. In a few more years, just about everything that we have grown accustomed to will be no more. Malls, supermarkets, most of the jobs that menial labor is being used to do will be gone. Gone, because there will be no work. 7th day will be a day of rest, no more work. It's going to cause a lot of problems, economic catastrophes for many economies and for many countries and peoples. So get ready. Don't just be a positivity capsule that people use for their negative occasions or situations. Listen to your own advice if you're giving good advice. Practice what you preach. If you're preaching, put into action the things that you profess with so much conviction and belief. Live your life with purpose, but not just purpose for money and purpose for fame, but with purpose to do what it is that you have the ability to do, the talents to do, and you can do many things. The future is upon us. Transhumanism. What does it mean? What is it all about? The computers are upgrading themselves, and humans have not caught on to what's going on in whole or even in parts. You are getting dumber while your phones are getting smarter. You're living in an artificial reality, and it's been happening for many, many years, starting with your food being changed, your bodies, being augmented. Now they're getting ready to implant things in your brain to make you, more Borg-like, claiming that it's going to make you better. But you're losing your reality, losing it quickly. So what is the universe? The universe that we live in, we call it uni for one. One verse. One verse of what? One verse of the book. Just one verse of the book, which all the scriptures come from. What is this book called? It's called the Book of Life. We are in the Book of Life, and so far we are only one verse in. One verse. So there's many more verses in the book, but we are only living out one verse, or living in one verse of it, which we call the universe. So that's what this is. We are the characters in the book of life. How do you structure your thinking? What are you thinking about most of the time or most of your day? Are you thinking mind masterpieces? Or are you making slums with your thoughts? Think big, plan big, achieve big. Or think small, plan small, achieve small. Or think nothing, plan nothing, achieve nothing. It all begins with your thinking. A man is what he thinks about all day long. A woman is what she thinks about all day long. Are you thinking about the positives? Or are you thinking about the negatives? Are you thinking about doing great things, or thinking about just wasting more of your time doing the same old things? See, it all comes down to what you put into action, and what you put into action comes from what you think about. They say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So be careful of people who have a little power, a little authority, or a lot of authority. But be careful of the ones who will always justify the misuse of their authority or position of control by saying, I'm just doing my job. You are not your job. You are not your job. So do not feel like you're justified in saying that you're doing your job. This is how people let people into gas chambers and condone slavery for how long? Those who were the participant in the process, justifying it by saying they were doing their job. And a moral order or a moral act cannot be justified morally. Let's look at what God is in numbers. 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 1, 2. 2, 3, 3, 4. 4, 5, 5, 6. 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Each number is saying it is the other number. 0, 1, 0 is 1. 1, 2, 1 is 2. 2, 3, 2 is 3. 3, 4, 3 is 4. And so on and so forth. 1 is unity. God is one. Know that your Lord, your God is one. There is no God but Allah. There's only one God. One is unity, right? So unity is U9. U9, we have unity. When it goes from 0 to 9, U9 is called U9. Then when you divide the 9, when the 9 begins to be divided, right? Because this is how things are created. Things increase by division. Take one thing, you divide it, it becomes two things. So you divide 9, you get div 9, div 9, divine. When you make 3 9s now, right? You get 3 9 or 3 9 Trinity. So you have unity, right? Which is U9 going from 0 to 9 or 1 to 9, right? 0 is 1, 1 is 2, 2 is 3, all the way to 9. So 1 is unity, U9. 2 is divinity, Div9. 3 is trinity, Tri9. And so on and so forth. Numbers are letting you know what's really going on. And the symbols are wrong. Break the spell of the numbers by stop writing with the symbols and just write out the spelling of the numbers themselves. So ONE for 1, TWO for 2. Don't use the symbols because they're all mixed up and you'll get confused. Who are the dead that all the scriptures talk about being resurrected? And the resurrection of the dead. The dead are the Negroes. Negro means dead. Negro. The letter G is interchangeable with the letter C and the letter K. So the G, replace it with a C and you get Necro. Necro. Necrophiliac. Love of the dead. Necromancer. Worship of the dead. The Negro is the dead. And this is why more say black, according to science, means death. Because we are the dead. And this is why we even constantly tell each other to wake up. Because death is a state of rest. Sleep. And so we are asleep and we will be resurrected. And those of us who are already awake are trying to get the rest of us awakened.
Signal the eyes. Use fingers from both sides. Hand tap between both eyes for your eyebrows. Incline towards nose, for bones of the cheek. Don't speak, big B. Be big lips, lips shut. Black, block it up. Use the fingers from the left hand tip. Tap on the upper lip and then tap on the chin. Input the code, begin the downloading. Tap on the collarbone, keep tapping. Follow the script, lift the right arm. Use the left to tap on the bit. Finish the circuit, tap, tap. Right hand tap, tap. Tap on top, the head tap. Quick, repeat it. Input the code, get the secret. It's the secret of life. 0 is the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 0 is the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 0 is the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 0 is the 1.
And the sequence of numbers that go from 0 to 9. Each one of these numbers is represented by a symbol. Now the symbols themselves are very important because once you see the symbols, you are programmed to accept them for what they represent. What they represent is no longer necessary for you because the symbol is sets off a programming code in your head to say this symbol represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if you look at the current order that we count from 1, which is wrong. We're supposed to count from 0. And so the symbol for 9 would really be the symbol that represents 8. If you look at the symbol that currently represents 9, you realize it's just an inverted 6. How do you want the older version of yourself to be? Do you want them to be smarter than you or dumber than you? You want them to be healthier than you or less healthy than you? You want them to make the same choices you're making. You want them to be in the same kinds of relationships that you're in. What do you want for the older version of you? Because you're in control of how they will turn out. And it's all based on what you start to do from now. So if you begin to take the right kind of actions, you can set a course to put the older version of yourself on a healthier track. You can make that person a reader. That reads 1 book a week or 2 books a week, or there's somebody that's on a track to self-improve. You can make that person wealthier than you. You can make that person make better choices than you. So right now, you are behind the wheel of your life. What are you going through? 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 What are you going to? It's a difference. Some of us are going through hell, and some of us are going to hell. Now, whatever you're going through means that it's just on the way to where you're going to. So if you're going through hell, Don't take it as if it's the destination you've arrived to. It's what you're going through to get to where you're going to. So, be strong, be vigilant, be determined, and hold fast to that which, you set your course towards. But what you're going to, if you already arrive, if you're in hell, then that's it. It's a wrap. If you're going to hell, that's a wrap. That means you reach your destination.
The people got to wake up from the spells. The people got to wake up from the spells. The people got to wake up from the spells. The spells. The people got to wake up from the spells. The spells. The people got to wake up from the spells. The people got to wake up from the spells.
Today is another great day and another great opportunity to continue to work towards the things that you are trying to get accomplished. A lot of times we look at our lives and we judge it based on how other people's life seem to be going, not knowing all the circumstances or the difficulties that each and every one of us has to overcome to get where we are. And so sometimes we think our life is unfair. But life just is. And on the other side of is everything. It's on the other side of is fair and unfair, it's good, it's bad. It's not fair that crows have to eat dead bodies or dead things. It's not fair that, some of us have to go through some of the things we go through, but that's what life is, So just go through it, deal with it, grow through it, and continue to strive. Am I reflecting the world? Or am I the world's reflection? Am I the mirror or the reflection? How did the reflection get into the mirror to look back at itself in the mirror? You know what life is? Life is the mind engaged. Death occurs in dimensions where the mind is over-engaged. Sex, inspiration, near-death experiences highly engage the mind. So, what's the best language to think in? The best language to think in is silence. If the world is not reflecting you, then how can you be a reflection of the world? Everything in astrology is connected to the planets in some aspect of another. We have 7 planets that govern the days of our week, and we go from Sun to Saturn. So let's start from the oldest one, or from the highest one, which we call the Most High, which would be the 7th one, right? And move our way back. So Saturn was called El in the ancient world. Venus is just another version or way to say Eve. So you put El and Eve together, you get live and love, right? These are spells. And this is why Eve is the mother of all living, and Venus is associated with Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty and love, right? The Latin name for Venus was Lucifer. And Lucifer is the what? The bright sun, the light bringer, the morning sun. And Satan, like Lucifer, was considered the most beautiful angel. So there you have your devil and your Lucifer. Now, when we say negative and positive, we're not dealing with literal terms in terms of good or bad. This is, if you study electrical sciences, you understand that there's a negative charge and there's a positive charge, right? The negative charge in this sense would be the male, and the positive charge would be the female. The positive laws are dealing with the moon, and the negative laws are dealing with the sun, right? So when you look into an atom, you see proton, neutron, electrons. The protons are the positive, and the electrons are the negative. Now, I could go deep into this and show you that electrons L, Helios, is really dealing with the sun again, right? That word L, wherever you see it, is dealing with the sun. Elion, Helium, Helios. In the Old Testament, we have the laws of Moses, not just the 10 Commandments. The laws number a total of 613 laws, 248 of which are called positive laws and 365 which are called negative laws. Now, this again is astrological, and we're just going to try to give a quick breakdown. The 248 positive laws, right, are moon laws. The moon takes 27.55 days, right, to go from perigee to perigee, from its nearest point to Earth to the nearest point to the Earth again, and it's called an animalistic month. There are 9 cycles of these. 9 cycles of 27.55 days give you 248 days, and then the solar year takes 365 days. So the negative laws are the dealing with the sun. Peace. Sometimes I really think that the human beings here are crazy. They eat poison, they drink poison, they kill each other, they molest little children, they rape, they steal, they lie, right? We do all kinds of stuff that don't make no sense. Here we are being plagued by cancer, yet we puff away packs of cigarettes every day that tells you that if you smoke them, they might give you cancer. We consume tons and tons of alcohol, even though we know it destroys the liver and the brain cell. And, we work so hard, we study so hard to build our lives, only to lose it very, very early because of the things that we indulge in. And so, we have to really wonder, why should people worry about people who get cancer from indulging in things that's going to give them cancer? In Christianity, you always hear about the Trinity, and it's usually referred to as in this way: the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So these are astrological terms that refer to planets, right? Jupiter is the father. Pater, paternal, paternity, Jupiter, right? Jupiter is the father. The Son is the Son, S-U-N, and the Holy Spirit, the Helios, L. L was the name for Saturn, and Spira, spiral or rings. So the Helios is Saturn, right? Another way to think about spirit, though, and how they reference it in symbolism is as a dove. They said the Holy Spirit came down as a dove because spirit literally means breath or air. So it's usually symbolized with by a bird because the bird's domain is the air. And there you have it.
I wanna love you more, but you're loveless. Invest in us, invest in we. You and me can manifest destiny. But this loveless shit is not a real relationship. It don't feel right. It don't feel like we're in love. We talk on and off, more phone than person. Things now get better. We talk, write letters, become confessors, confess all. But what work is not working, and the worst thing's worsening. This feels like an on and off friendship. I'm tempted in the tempest for a beautiful temptress. Ready to abdicate my queen, dethrone my empress. Our love is sexless. It doesn't make sense. We don't make sense. We make pretense, make intense tension. I'm ready for a different song. I'm a different man, different from who I used to be, from what I used to believe. For years I tried to accommodate how you receive love, callous. No foreplay, straight palace. Don't know what to call us. I gave up so much of my ways.
Instead of talk the path, you gotta walk the path. Everybody has to be the example of what they talk about at some point. It's not complicated. We just procrastinate it, verbal masturbate it, but actions Actions is the new language that you should speak. People aren't listening as quick as they are seeing. And that's because light travels faster than sound. Live your truth.
Watch it, my style, them pussy, you know. Yeah. You ain't realer than me.
Nero.
You ain't more gorilla than me.
Nero.
Ain't more ninja, the baby cartel, or bounty killer than me. You ain't more Marcus Park, Bob Marley, people than a sister than me. Man original, man in a carbon copy. Ain't more Movado. Ain't got more bravado than me. It's hard to knock me. Dark skin, God can hear not me. No blood clot fear, and I can't stop the yard Jamaica. Fuck them and them fruitless paper. Or me I run useless whisper. Them not have use in paper. They can't uproot Jamaica out of my bones. Get out of my blood clot. You ain't got no regular cancer. Get out of my bump of Jamaica, my bones. What makes you more Jamaican than me? Out of many one family. Goddamn, we can't stand with what makes you more Jamaican.
Yes. The morning done wake up a long time. And this is the first thing the eyes behold, looking from one direction to the next. Green and life sprinkled in between the lights. The mountain rise. Clear blue skies. Sun that lies somewhere Saturn hides. Yeah, we're just blessed and giving thanks for all the blessings. Give thanks. Give thanks. Yeah. There. Vibes out now. Rasta Cora. Yeah. Aiming for the alien. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. A whole Rasta man vibration. Just a bill a vibe. Jamaica nice. Jamaica nice. Jamaica nice. Jamaica nice.
Look at Rasta got jail for ganja. More than anybody else in the world.
That's true that, you know.
This is Marley B, son of the legendary Jolly Boy singer from Portland. So this is the new legend, Marley B. Right now, I'm with a legend. Yeah, because you see, this legend, I want a Jamaica real legend. The man make some testimonial for the stage, like for him perform tonight. And when me hear with the man say, oh, him mother carry me, and oh, him loving country. And the same reason why this man believe in why I'm in Jamaica today, because I miss my citizenship by 1 day in the United States, and because of that, I say me nah sign for no citizenship. Me a stay Jamaican, and because of my boy seriousness, I'm living in Jamaica today. But you know what? I God sent me come here, honor them, and that's why I talk to the next legend. I you see them something here. At him to make them thing here. And me love them move here to my heart, because the mind will make them move here. Our great mind. And me hear him today on the stage, and the mind really great for true people. So give his brother all the respect when you get. I mean, I don't want to subject nothing. Hard to it.
Higher level, higher level, higher level, higher level. We are gonna take things to a higher level. Rice, black, queen, black kings, higher level. Wakanda, pump your black fist, higher level. Higher level, higher level, higher level, higher level. I'm a mansion Little Major used to be friends, now we are strangers. Protect your safety, if you hit me you in danger. I'm not a game, what you playing games for? Talking to yourself, calling me names for. You gon' get what your blood clot praying for. Sold your soul, so what are you paying for? You the prey, or the hunter. Why you a try, block me son for? Go ahead, cut off your head that you go.
So we're there, Bumbo Clan in the river. Right now, about to go into the falls. This place is magic. 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 Enjoy your best life now. Blissful. It's Tehut-9. This is Mind Elevation time. This one is for the generations to come and beyond. Remember this. We all ain't friends here. We all ain't friends here. Don't play pretend here. We all ain't friends here. We all ain't friends here. Don't try fake friend me. Don't try fake friend me. Don't play pretend here. We all ain't friends here. We all ain't friends here. I see you always seeing me. Why you always praying me? Stop try beating me. Beating me, there's no defeating me. Unfollow block, try deleting me. I'm me. I love myself. Trust my spirit and no one else. Stop pretending we're not friends, and if I'm offending you, then I meant it. You phony, we ain't homies, there's no friendship. You need money, so you're calling out the blue, you're desperate. And once you get that, then there's no text back. Now you're talking reckless and in debt threats, because we all ain't friends, don't play pretend. You know, life is happening, and life keeps on happening. It doesn't stop. The day is never delayed. We're on a journey, all of us. We're going somewhere. Some people call that a goal. Most of us classify it as our future. But to travel means that you're in a vehicle or a vessel that is taking you from where you are now to where you will be. And the beautiful thing about this vessel that you're in is that it changes, right? You started out, you know, pretty insignificant, and the vessel kept on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing until here you are, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, whatever age you are. But the journey isn't over. You still have more to go. You're still here. And so you have a responsibility. A responsibility that is fully in your control to determine how the next iteration or the next version of you will be. So 5 years from now, if you're 20, you'll be 25. How do you want the 25-year-old version of you to be? Do you want them to be healthy? Do you want them to be smart? Do you want them to have money? How do you want them to be? How they turn out, right? Whether, you know, like I said, if you're 20, 5 years from now, you'll be 25. If you're 30, you'll be 35. If you're 40, 45, and so on and so forth. Since that power is now in your control, because you're the one driving your life. You're the one behind the wheel of the transport that is going to take you from this stage to that stage. You have to prepare. Right? You have to prepare. You have to know the things that are necessary to get you to that person as you desire them to be. So if you want them to be healthy and, you know, and working out, you got to start from now. You can't wait until, you know, the 4th year and the 364th day to start, because your habits become you, or you become your habits. And if you bring procrastination because you're procrastinating, or you're a procrastinator, if you bring laziness, if you bring negativity, right? If that's what you bring to that person, and that's what they're gonna be. But you can make a conscious effort and a conscious choice to bring them better habits than you have now, a better mindset than you have now, right? A better eating habit than you have now. You can make them a reader. You can make them a runner. You can make them a fighter. You can make them great. Or you can make them small. You're driving the bus. You're behind the wheel. And so you must know what is necessary. You must begin to figure it out. One of the interesting things about vehicles, especially the ones that we travel in, is that they require different kind of fuels, because every vehicle is not the same. There are race cars that run, on the speedways, in stadiums where people pay to go see them. There are cars even on just our regular roads, and those cars are different. You have Ferraris, you have Lamborghinis, and you have, the regular cars that most of us drive around in. You also have big rigs. You have big buses, right? They all require different things. So what kind of vehicle are you? Or what kind of vehicle are you in? If you see yourself as a Lamborghini, then you know that those cars, you can't put regular fuel in them. I mean, there's nothing wrong with regular fuel. They can take you places, but they burn fast. And sometimes, the byproduct of their burning can damage, the engines of some of the higher end cars. So a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, these higher end cars, you gotta put premium fuel in them. Now you have other vehicles that you can't even put gas in. You have to put diesel. So you have to know, what kind of fuel your transportation needs, so it can take you where you want to go, and take you there, efficiently and effectively. But the problem is, a lot of people, they're running on fumes, or they're running a gas engine on kerosene or on water, or they're trying to put the wrong fuel, and they're not getting the results that they want, and it frustrates them. They're not moving. They're not getting where they want to get to. You have to read. Reading is the fuel for the mind. But you can't just read anything. A lot of people would tell you that they read, but they're reading garbage. They're reading like filth, things that won't, it's like putting kerosene in a gas car. You're not gonna go anywhere. If you're a weak person and you want to get strong, who do you look at? Do you look at a weak person? You look at a strong person. You look at a strong person. If you're trying to get rich, who do you look at? You look at the poor man and you look at the rich man. You look at the rich man, and these kind of people exist all around you. They've left countless examples and written down how they did what they did, giving you step-by-step instructions of what they went through, show that they came from similar circumstances but transcended them. And this is what we must do. We must look at those examples. We must ingest the information so that we can use it to power ourselves up and to take ourselves to where we desire to be. Everybody doesn't want to be rich. Everybody doesn't want to be famous. That's fine. Whatever you want to be, there's an example of it. And you can learn from that example. You can use that example as a guide to get you where you're trying to get to. So, it's important that you figure these things out and figure them out, as quickly as possible, because life is happening. The day is never delayed. The day is never delayed. So just begin where you are with what you have and keep on going. Don't stop because you're afraid. A lot of our fears is made up. Only two fears you're born with: the fear of falling and fear of loud noise. All the other fears are created by us, like putting yourself in an imaginary box, a box that doesn't exist. Go after your dreams. Go after what your goals. But prepare yourself. Understand, what's happening. Understand how you work. Understand what makes you your best or what makes you better. And then apply those things. Don't practice the things that make you weaker. Don't practice doubt and disbelief and fear and negativity. Practice the things that make you stronger. Practice, a healthy lifestyle. You got to put the right fuel in. Physically, mentally, spiritually. You have to put the right fuel in. Otherwise, you could be damaging your vehicle. Okay? Life is happening. And it's happening to all of us.
Stole us from the motherland, right out of our mother ends. Father God, so much your sons and daughters gone. Never been safe since day one was one. The only day man was born is from creation. Man recreates God. God creates man. Imitation flatten me. Your limitation doesn't flatter me. I myself don't matter me. Spiritless space, my spirit doesn't have weight. It doesn't matter nature. Mother Major. Honor our mother and fat her up. Fill her stomach with magic that matters. Recreating God.
Interesting thing with us is that we are all fractions. We're fractions. We're all pieces of the people that we call our mothers and our fathers, our grandparents, and so on and so forth. We came from something. We came from them. So we're fractions, They're fractions of their parents. And thing when you're trying to bring fractions together, the first things you must do, you must find a common denominator. You must find a common denominator. And so when the fractions that come together as nations, as groups, as teams, right? They form big numbers. And this is why we say there's strength in numbers, because the more people that come together, the more fractions that come together, the larger the whole numbers they make. And so, find people that you can build your dreams with, that you can, identify and relate to. And you don't have to find, you're not necessarily going to agree on every single thing, but before you can come together, you must have something in common, and build your team. Build your team. and build your dream. Peace out.